What's going on, guys? Gilly Writes Comics, one half of the Geek-tastic duo. I'm here with Ron Christian. We're talking some Mortal Kombat.
Yep, Mortal Kombat. We recently saw the Mortal Kombat animated movie, Scorpion's Revenge, and we decided to make a video about it. Why not?
Yeah, right. I grew up on Mortal Kombat. I remember seeing it in the arcade, and holy cow, did that forever change my life for a while. And
yeah, me too. I grew up Mortal Kombat growing up also. So my go-to was always Sub-Zero. Either Sub-Zero or Kung Lao. Those were my go-tos.
Sub-Zero was mine, man. I stuck with him, and then Scorpion too, for that matter.
Yeah.
But I always lean more towards Sub-Zero, and I remember playing it on a Genesis. And I remember my mom did not want me even anywhere near that game.
Obviously.
She didn't want me sniffing that cover of the game. She wanted
it was one of those games that was forbidden for you to play, but you really want to play it, obviously.
This was, I'll give my dad props. I'm not going to do the math there. I must have been maybe 11, 10, I'm guessing. 11 or 12-ish around there, maybe. My mom wasn't having it, and I remember the Super Nintendo had where all the fatalities were different.
Yeah,
they weren't the violent ones, but the Genesis had they had how it was originally. And I remember my dad he's fine, he can play, he's fine, and I'll never forget. I'm like, man, would I let my kid play that? At that age that I played it, I don't know.
I've never been a big fighting game guy, but out of all the fighting games that are out there, Mortal Kombat to me is the one that I was able to grasp easier, that I was able to play better. I don't completely suck. I completely stuck at Street Fighter.
I prefer Street Fighter
and Tekken.
I prefer Soul Calibur. I prefer Marvel vs. Capcom
or Tekken or that kind of thing.
But to finish him and the just the one-on-one combat, how it was something. It was a culture thing.
Anyway, today we're talking about today we're talking about the animated movie that came out fairly recently.
You see how we could go on and on about Mortal Kombat. It holds a special place in our heart. So they did an animated film, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to expect. Ron had seen it. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. I just saw it today. Ron, from a 1 to 10, what do you give it?
That's maybe a 7, maybe an 8.
Okay.
Between a 7 and 8.
Okay. Why a 7 or an 8?
Okay. Because the Scorpion storyline was really, really cool. I loved it. It was awesome. But I thought that it wasn't focused upon as much because you have the storyline from the first game, kind of like, you know what I mean? It didn't know the direction that it wanted to take.
It starts off as you thinking this is just Scorpion's tale.
Yeah.
But then it's actually kind of a camouflages into pretty much an origin retelling
of the first game. Yeah.
Of the first game. So this isn't just Scorpion's tale. So we kind of see, some of the favorites like Sonia Blade, Liu Kang, Raiden.
Speaking of Sonia Blade, is it me or did you find her to be an insufferable bitch in this game? In this movie, I'm just like, why is she so mean?
Let me just be, I don't remember Sonia's character from the video game as a kid. You just knew that she could kick ass.
Yeah.
She had that leg crab sweep thing.
Yeah.
She shot the thing. She had the kiss of death. So a lot of these, it was just like, okay. You dealt with it. So here you got to kind of flesh out the characters a bit more. And I'm not gonna lie, she was like a little bit too on overdrive,
Yeah.
She
kept on kicking poor Johnny Cage in the balls. I'm like, what is your problem, lady? Jeez.
Yeah, it's like they injected her with testosterone from I don't know. It was just like she was injected with all that masculinity as far as her character goes. I thought she was interesting. I didn't think she was that insufferable. Maybe a little bit. It was kind of like, okay, you guys are really going with this little girl narrative. I get it. She doesn't want to. I get it. She fought. We get it.
Yeah.
She earned her respect in what she's done. Because she's a soldier. She's trained under Jack. So
I felt she was overcompensating.
Yeah, she definitely was. And that's just what we're going through nowadays. But I was tolerating it. Because for me, I thought the violence and the levity mixed in great with the nostalgia.
Johnny Cage was great. I always loved Johnny Cage.
They made him a bit of a goofball, but I liked it though. He was a good comic relief. I liked his banter with Raiden. He's calling him Radar. He's calling him Reagan. He got Randy. So
I do like the part where he finally brings it with Sonya. That was really cool.
That's why I'm okay. For me, I give this an 8, and it's more because of nostalgia driven. Because if we go to the story, I mean, the deeper this thing gets, the more ridiculous the plot goes. But I'd expect nothing less from something based on a video game. And of course, like you, I loved how it started with the culture, with the clan and everything. And I liked how they made Sub-Zero the bad guy. I thought that was different. I'm like, for me, Sub-Zero was always a good guy. And right when I'm watching, I'm like, wow, Sub-Zero's the bad guy.
Although there's twist there, he's not. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but
spoil it because we're going to put a little thing in the video.
Well, obviously, if you played Mortal Kombat, you know that it wasn't really that Sub-Zero. It was what was his name?
Quan Chi
that did that instead. So
it was always Quan Chi.
Yeah, it was always Quan Chi.
Even in part 1,
I believe so. Yeah, I believe.
And then we see who he is probably later in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so that slipped over me. I totally forgot that Quan. I thought it was interesting. I'm like, wow, Sub-Zero's the bad guy. Like, really? But then when it's coming out, I'm like, Quan Chi. I'm like, okay, so I liked how they did that. What I felt robbed. Where I felt robbed was I wanted a better Scorpion Sub-Zero duel. I think it went too fast. It was quick. I mean, for the 2 minutes it went, it was cool. They showed the moves. But it was too fast. I felt like, man, they could have really created.
What do you think the best fight in the movie was? The Baraka and Johnny Cage fight wasn't really a fight.
No, he's running away. Sonya and the Reptile fight. I mean, I thought Reptile was cool. And I like Sonya saying, come out and fight like a man. I thought that was, I wasn't upset at that.
Yeah.
And Reptile's being cheesy, being invisible, and doing the Predator thing. And they kind of like, they took the whole, what happened in Predator, that whole theme, and how Schwarzenegger figures it out. Like, they did that in like 1 second. And she sees him and she exposes him. And then she's able to trick him.
That was a cool fight.
For me, if that would kind of be like my favorite fight by like, it's almost like it's sad that would be my favorite fight and not Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
I thought the Quan Chi Scorpion fight was pretty cool though. I
mean, that was cool, but for me, it's like, okay, Quan Chi is this powerful person, right? And he wants this key so bad, but he's so powerful, so. Does he gives Scorpion all these powers when he comes back up? I mean, like he allows him to come back. So did he give him all these powers now, like these new revamped powers? Or I wish they would have delved more into the underworld, the nether realm, how he would, I get it. He fights some demons. And for me, it's like, okay, you just lost your family. You thought it was Sub-Zero. I would have liked if while he's being tortured, you see him still having visions of his family or them being tortured. And that's where he pushes that drive to fight the demon instead of, the demon's like, oh, there's no God here because it looked like he was praying. And he's like, I don't need no God. And it's just like, like that's taking it away from me a bit. I mean, this is my nitpicking. This is my nitpicking here. This is just me nitpicking.
I'll tell you one thing. This is not for the kids. This is really, really violent. Like really.
Yeah, and I love the violence. So I mean, for me, the violence. I like the X-ray. They had the X-ray strike.
Yeah, they did.
From the video game. Mm-hmm. I absolutely adored the violence. But just for me, it was that just these little subtle story bits I thought could have been better for character development. I mean, I know the Quan Chi thing. I just felt like I would have liked a better duel between Scorpion and Sub-Zero where they're going at it. And and Sub-Zero's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I never killed your family. But they're going at it, and Sub-Zero's holding his own. And it's like where Scorpion's really in this doubt, like, did this guy really do it? But then he's like, going to believe it, And then he just goes at it, and then you have like a cool, the way he killed him, I thought was cool because he killed himself. So I liked it. The fight was great. I just thought it could have been greater. And this is what
and now we know that Sub-Zero comes back, but it's really his brother. And
yeah, I mean, exactly. My whole thing is like it could have been a little bit more fleshed out, that fight, and I think the stakes behind it could have been, they could have had more impact if they just spent some more time with that. But again, they were throwing so much in there.
For straight to digital or video.
Oh, it
was decent. It was the
best. I mean, I give it an 8. And like I said, doesn't mean nitpicking. I mean, if for it to be a 10, I would have needed a better Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. I would have needed maybe
a more focused story,
streamlined, and to take Sonya Blade's masculinity down a notch, just a notch. And Johnny Cage, I thought he was a good comic relief, and when he needed, this is my saving grace, when he needed to kick ass, I love that they didn't keep him like cuckolded. He was able to kick ass and earn Sonya Blade's respect. She's like, Johnny Cage can fight, and that like revamped her spirits, and they both went in there and they kicked the demon's ass. So I thought that was great. I mean, you're gonna have a sequel. It's obvious. The thing made enough money, I guess. Or I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I'm curious, and again, with the violence, you can't go wrong. So for the most part,
that's what Mortal Kombat's known for. So
I'm curious to see how the next one turns out. And I'm excited. Other than that, I mean, guys, let us know what you think. Drop a like, a comment. Let us know, did you check out the movie? Did you like it? Let us know, who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character? What are you looking forward to? And are you excited about what's to come for these Mortal Kombat animations films?
Oh, and this weekend we're still going to be doing that giveaway for the digital code. So we got to look out for that.
Stay tuned. We got 50-something subscribers. We're how do you call it? Grinding, guys. We're grinding. So we definitely appreciate you guys for helping out.
We want to hit 100, though. We really want to hit 100.
We want to hit 100, and then 150. We got some awesome gifts, digital free codes that are for the people who subscribe. We'll do a giveaway for each 50-point break. We'll celebrate with a gift for you guys. And again, we're comic book creators. We talk anything from video games, comic books, movies, TV shows. We're here for you guys. Thank you for checking out the Geektastic Duo. Till next time, guys. Geek out.
Geek out, guys.